Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. So today, obviously, we have a big update to the Bjergsen story to talk about. There's going to be so much to talk about up until Bjergsen has signed to a team, and probably even after he has officially signed to a team, there's going to be a ton to talk about. This is one of the biggest stories in the entire offseason. There's no way to get around it. But before we get into this, I just want to ask real quick if you guys wouldn't mind checking out the first link in the description below for my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/I_am_Germ. I'm going to be streaming there a lot more often. Ton of awesome content coming there. Really want to grow my stream, so consider dropping a follow, maybe a prime. With that being said, let's get right into this one. So obviously, Bjergsen kind of shocked the world. I don't know if people were necessarily shocked. There was kind of some rumblings about him leaving TSM more and more popping up recently, but still an absolutely massive story. So many people never thought they would see Bjergsen leave TSM. They thought they would see him retire in a TSM jersey. I mean, some people thought we had already seen Bjergsen retire in a TSM jersey. So the fact that he was going to be leaving is crazy. And now pretty much any team he ends up on, whether it's any of the LCS teams, any of the LEC teams, is going to be a whole nother big story because they are getting one of the best Western players of all time, one of the biggest brands in all of League of Legends, one of the most famous players, one of the best leaders. They're going to get a ton of fans, a ton of exposure, and a really great player. It's going to be an absolutely massive deal, but so many TSM fans are still kind of grieving. I mean, people are sad. You know, the emotional roller coaster that TSM fans and League of Legends fans have had with TSM and Bjergsen over the last couple of years has been a lot for some people. It's especially because a lot of us started watching League of Legends and TSM and Bjergsen when we were young. We've grown up with it. We've always known this, and now we're in this really weird spot. But the fact that the new Bjergsen rumors are already coming out so fast, and in TSM's video, they hinted that he already has a deal either in place or done or very close to done with another team, means I do expect we'll hear the official Bjergsen news very soon. But one of the biggest rumors going around at this point is this from Fion on Fire. Sources, Team Liquid are eyeing Bjergsen as their new mid laner for the 2022 campaign, and they are testing role-swapping Jensen alongside Core JJ in the bot lane, and this is very crazy. This is also something that a lot of other people have talked about. There has been, definitely this news going around a lot. We do actually, I wanted to take a look at a tweet from Skeleton as well, because he had something very big regarding this. Skeleton did say about the buyouts that are involved. I don't know why this stuff isn't loading right now, but he did say about the buyouts here. He said Bjergsen was verbally agreed to TSM. Make no mistake, he does believe this. This is what his sources were telling him, whatever. He says he is at least claiming that TL offered double what TSM did, and you just can't surmount that. And what another guy did come in and say too, Youngblood Cast, this guy's another, rumor leak account, whatever. He said TL offered double, plus they have a better offseason profile than TSM, and that I do believe. I don't necessarily know if TL offered double or whatever, or what even that means. Depends how much TSM offered, depends what Team Liquid offered. And also, his ownership in TSM has some amount of value that you have to factor in as well. But TL having a better offseason profile, I absolutely do believe that. Having Core JJ on their team, one of the other best players in the LCS, and having, the money that Steve wants to throw around and all that stuff, and, already having a better team in place in TSM as it is, definitely helps him out. Probably went a long way here, but I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys, that Skeleton did tweet this out. Pretty crazy, but again, Fion on Fire is saying that he thinks Bjergsen is potentially going to Team Liquid. A lot of people think Team Liquid is the leader in the clubhouse at this point. This is something that I've been talking about a ton, that some people are saying, oh, does Bjergsen want to return home to Europe? Does he want to go to Europe? Blah, blah. And it's like, I don't think so. Bjergsen got to North America when he was 17, 18 years old. He came here as a child, and for the last 7, 8 years, this is where he's grown up. He has grown up in the United States. He has grown up in Los Angeles. This is where all his friends are. This is where his relationships are. This is where all his new home is. This is where his career has been. Obviously, Europe will always be his home, but he's so far removed from that at this point. I think it would be really hard for him to leave everything behind that he has in the United States. I don't know. It'd be really crazy. It's also hard to leave Los Angeles and go to Berlin, especially when you're taking a pay cut to do so. You better be going to a pretty damn stacked roster over in Europe if you're going to do that. But I also do think that Team Liquid can form a pretty stacked roster. If you're talking about, especially if Jensen goes to AD carry, you're talking about Bjergsen, Jensen, and Core JJ all on one team, and all three players being North American residents if Core JJ does get his green card this offseason, which means you could go after an import top, say Alfari leaves. Even if Alfari leaves, you can go after another import top and an import jungler. Maybe Bjergsen coming to TSM is enough to convince Alphari to stay. So you'd have Bjergsen, Alphari, CoreJJ, Jensen, and then maybe Santorin. Maybe, take your pick of whoever other jungler you want to try and get. That all of a sudden is a very, very dangerous team. That all of a sudden is a very, very scary team, and a team that could potentially actually do some damage. Not only in the LCS, I think they'd be absolutely dominant, but potentially at MSI, potentially at World, something like that. But yeah, actually in this article, Fion does go on to talk about some of this stuff where, in doing so, while they're shopping, where TL's potentially interested in Bjergsen, in doing so, they're currently testing the transition of Jensen, I can't think of his name for whatever reason, Jensen to the AD carry position to team up with CoreJJ. And that's big in another way too, because if TL does get Bjergsen and they're able to maybe hang on to Alphari and CoreJJ, there had been some rumors that TL was going to absolutely explode. That, after another 3-3 finish at Worlds and not being able to get out of groups, that Alphari was going to want out. Maybe CoreJJ was going to get out. And if all of them left, maybe Jensen would leave too. But Bjergsen could be the glue that keeps some of these guys together. They do say that obviously Bjergsen can't officially sign with TL until November 15th. I don't know why that just went away. They reported this back in September that Bjergsen would be returning to pro play. Earlier today, they posted this video. The idea of Bjergsen's move to TL and Jensen's role swap to the bot lane was first brought up by Travis Gafford in his prediction video. While the current plan is to pair Bjergsen and Jensen together on the starting roster, a source close to the situation says that nothing is confirmed and these things can change based on how things fit in the ever-evolving roster. So part of how I take that is, and what I'm kind of hearing is that if Jensen, they're going to try him out for a little bit. They're going to see how he feels about things. They're going to see how he starts doing. If he and the team don't feel that he can potentially be an amazing AD carry, maybe CoreJJ doesn't think so, or the team, or Jensen, or whoever, they might just get Bjergsen to replace Jensen, and Jensen might get sold off to another team. Jensen might get replaced. They also, could just keep Jensen in place. But it does seem like Bjergsen is very, very high up on their list, obviously. But they are going to try things out. Just because Bjergsen comes to TL doesn't mean Jensen's necessarily going to AD carry. There's still a bunch of things up in the air. There's still a bunch of different ways this could go. Obviously, we got some Twitch notifications, so make sure you guys go check out the Twitch channel. But yeah, this is absolutely insane. Not only is Bjergsen leaving TSM, not only are TSM fans down bad, sad, depressed, all of this stuff, he might be going to one of their biggest rivals, and he might be joining a super team in doing so. TL has the money, the means, the firepower, the capability of forming something truly crazy. And I think just the core of Bjergsen and CoreJJ by themselves, awesome. Throw in Jensen, awesome. Throw in Alphari, throw in some other crazy players. That is awesome. It's so, so exciting. I'm sad to see Bjergsen go, but I'm low-key kind of really hoping that a super team like this does form. I've been saying for a while now, I've already made some videos, that a North American or Western super team absolutely needs to form if we want to take that next big step at MSI World's international competition. I've been saying Bjergsen and CoreJJ need to pair up. I always hoped or thought that would be on TSM because I never thought Bjergsen would leave. But if it happens on Team Liquid, I think that's, maybe the next best thing for everybody involved. Because Bjergsen absolutely deserves the best. And I want the best for the LCS. I want the best for North America. I want the best for the West. And this could be it. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so, so much. Leave a comment down below. Do you think Bjergsen's going to end up on TL? Do you think this TL team could be good? Or do you think it would be bad? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!